Um, talk about the sport wars and respond to Mr. Francis' post on Facebook as well. No, he had Sharon Sharp that Amy Bird on that video. But anyways, to respond to Mr. Francis on that, for what stopped him from getting to 11 titles and 11 scoring titles, that was injuries. And I say it again. I told you he dunked over worst man. He dunked over 7'6" guy. He almost broke his spine and almost nearly cracked the skull in the process. If you saw the game when he tried to dunk over a 7'6" guy, that's what stopped him. He broke his tibia and his fibula doing that too in the process. That's why he missed his first 4 years in the league, Mr. Francis. What stopped him was injuries, nothing else. You forgot he had 10 scoring titles. If it wasn't for him missing the first team, he had 12 scoring titles, better than Bill Russell and D.Y. me. No, your agreement, Shannon Sharp, this, Mr. Francis, this makes you just as bad. Just as bad as Shannon Sharp and Amy Bird. Shannon Sharp's an Amy Bird because he's too. I think that I don't know what Amy Bird means, but I'll look it up on Google today. But anyways, my response to Mr. Francis on that, the reason why Michael Jordan got the Sixers because he's still loyal to his franchises. He still holds the highest PPG in NBA history. He didn't look. Yeah, he lost to Boston, but that was because Boston was the better team. They didn't handle injury issues. If it had anything to do with Boston, as far as him losing the Boston those first two, so yeah, he lost those first two, but that's when he was 22 years old. That's when he missed his first 2 full years in the league because of those severe injuries, pretty much. But to comment on with Mr. Francis' post on Facebook, they're not actually that opinion either. But yeah, he lost to Boston twice, but because Boston was the better team and they were fully healthy. What stopped them later on when they was chasing these titles in the NBA, going back to the 80s and 90s and so on and so forth, was stopped Michael Jordan from getting 11 NBA titles was injuries. Like I said, Mr. Friend, you hate yourself. Well, if you use Wikipedia, but you should not use Wikipedia because some stuff that tells you some stuff is true, some stuff is not. But anyways, Michael Jordan still has the highest points per game in NBA history at 30.1, 10 scoring titles, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, LeBron has more boxing than him. Well, it doesn't matter if he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, not even once. Been all NBA defensive team, I can say that at least. Multiple firsts, multiple seconds. So like I said, Mr. Francis, my response to your post obviously was not appreciated. Especially your post, you listen to the podcast the way I do, obviously, for Shannon Sharp. You know Shannon Sharp's an Emmy Bird, right? Just like Nick Ray is an Emmy Bird too as well. That I already knew firsthand once I found what the word Emmy Bird means, but so like I said, Michael Jordan has the most scoring titles in NBA history with 10. Multiple 3,000-point seasons, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, over 30,000 plus career points, 6 most in NBA history. LeBron's the all-time leader, but what else? What does it matter about the longevity if you don't have 6 titles? And who was the best team in the NBA last season that went to the NBA Finals that beat your team on Christmas Day? The Celtics. Boston beat the brakes off the Lakers, man. It wasn't about 20 points, but the way they was playing against the Lakers during Christmas, the way the Celtics were playing the Lakers during Christmas Day, they were about to beat the brakes off the Lakers and pull away. The Lakers made their game closer than anticipated. So who was the better team? The best team in the song? It was Boston. You obviously hate them because Jason Tatum got a ring, and he obviously was well deserved of that ring. He made the NBA 2K25 cover. I know you must say, well, Ron's not on the cover. He's been on the cover 3 times. How many times to tell you that? NBA 2K14 was one of the covers. NBA 2K19, NBA 2K20, the Legend Edition. AD was on NBA 2K20, a standard edition a while ago. Let's not forget Mike Jordan didn't lose an NBA final, didn't lose an NBA Finals either, and didn't lose. Yeah, he's lost in the first round, but that wasn't consistent like LeBron. LeBron's losing in the first round for the past several years now. LeBron's been losing in the first round for the past several years now. Mr. Francis. So like I said, you listen to a person that I already know about, Shannon Sharp, obviously. That's an Emmy bird, obviously. And also Nick Wright, who's also a hater too, obviously, when it comes to Michael Jordan as well. He overlooks that era because the era that he won in the 70s, knowing that his first three titles came in the 70s and mid-80s, and his last three titles came in the 90s. And Jordan's one of the most wealthiest athletes in the United States and the NBA currently. He hasn't touched the basketball in over 2 decades. So like I said, he has 10 scoring titles, 6 NBA titles, 6 MVPs. Excuse me, I burnt out. So, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, multiple first-team All-NBAs, defensive team. Only Kobe Bryant and Wilt the Gold Champion Bill Russell made more at the president. Bill Russell died in 2022. Bill Russell died in 2022, but anyways. So like I said, Michael Jordan's the undisputed GOAT of all time. Didn't ask for that opinion, either. Because you're just a LeBron fanboy for life. You don't want to give the dude from the Bronx the dude from the Bronx obviously the credit he obviously deserves. No, he is from New York. We all knew Jordan was going to probably be in boxing or baseball or football if he had a choice. He was a basketball head firsthand. Jordan played multiple sports. So like I said, and he still holds the record for most scoring titles with 10. And nobody's getting close to that record yet. That's closest I can say. I would say LeBron's on that list, but he's not at 10 scoring titles. He's at half. That's 50 for that's heaven and hell. But Kobe Bryant's won scoring title 3 times, but he's made the most 2K covers: NBA 2K10, NBA 2K21, NBA 2K24. What other covers was he on? I think he was on a couple of the EA Sport ones. Quote me on that, I could be wrong about those ones, but I think he was on the EA Sport one a couple times. And he's made the most with 6. Michael Jordan of covers, 2K and EA Sport covers. I'm going to say Trayvon, he made that many covers because he was in the middle of his prime before injuries came up. What stopped him from playing until Kobe Bryant stopped playing until, when Kobe Bryant stopped playing until he was 40. He didn't play until he was 40 hours. We didn't stop playing at age 38 because of injuries. Because remember, he tore their Achilles and he broke the tibia in the field the following year after and the year after that. But he was not the same player he was in his prime. Kobe Bryant's prime was more succinct than LeBron's. Yeah, LeBron won the title at age 34. The issue, though, he was part 1 LeBron. Kobe washed up by now. He got like greatness. He was like a grandfather right now. But I told Mr. Friend, this is LeBron's last year. I mean that, Mr. Friend. This is LeBron's last year for sure. That second year, that 2 year, there's a player option. But anyways, this will be LeBron's last year. He can't get out the first round. The West is too loaded. And they don't have the money to trade for anybody. They don't have no money to over the luxury tax and the hard cap. If they trade for anybody's contract, they're going to be over the 100 and they won't be able to trade nobody at all. And if they give the remainder of their first round picks, they've always said entire freedom. That's going to be a full rebuild regardless of LeBron is there or not. LeBron will be retired by then, by the time the expansion teams come into the NBA pretty much, because the WNBA just got a Canadian team, Toronto team. I think it's going to be named the same name as the men's team. It's probably going to be the Raptors more than likely. So we're probably going to have Canadian players in the WNBA now, depending on their size and everything else, and depending on who coaches that WNBA expansion team, honestly. Because the Aces was one of them now. The Toronto team comes in 2025 and 2026. But anyways. And they get all this draft capital to draft European players, interracial players, the players that from the cities they call home, which is Canada. But anyways. So like I said, Mr. Ryan, Jordan has a lot of records. He couldn't be one of the most wealthiest athletes of all time. So including the sponsors, he still plays golf on his free time. Play with Tiger Woods like me. Jordan golf like me and John. Mr. Francis say some stuff right now. Cause you gonna say the long say the longevity don't matter with LeBron if he don't have 6 titles or 11 titles or 10 scoring titles either. Michael Jordan still holds records for that to this day in multiple 3,000-point seasons. But anyways, that was my response to Mr. Francis' post on Facebook. Obviously, that was not a good. You used the old post from a decade ago. I figure you would do that. That's not good, Mr. Francis. You need to do your research and find your better sources better. Even if you follow the sources that I follow, not because I follow better sports sources than you, and other sources that I follow as far as other sources as far as journalism are better than you. So like I said, Michael Jordan is the undisputed GOAT of all time. He didn't lose in the NBA Finals. If it wasn't for him, if he didn't do what he did to that player against Utah, he was 5-1. LeBron lost once in the NBA Finals, 5-1. And that was against Boston in 2008. Then he avenged that in 2009, 2010. But like I said, Boston was the better team in the NBA last year, and they one of the best teams in the East, and they beat the brakes off your team during Christmas Day last year. Because Jay, if you know about having a Jay in the team, and they Duke Bulldogs has something to say to you. If you know Gardner, a Zeus, a Danos, and a Bro, if you know being Bros or jumping it. That's why Mr. Francis in NBA 2K24 right now until he can't guard these Broys players or Zeus or Danos players. You know about being Zeus and Danos and Broys hype, but anyways, or jumping it at least like me. But anyways, Jason Tatum probably going as one of the greatest players of all time. Him and Jaylen Brown, because they're both the league's highest paid players at the respective positions currently in terms of the AAV. And those two players for Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen probably the greatest. Zanos and Deuce and Broly, and Jaylen Brown probably the greatest Aquaman and Jenny and Jason that I've ever seen. No years missed. Both in top 10 in Boston franchise in points accumulated. Chasing a lot of other players. Chasing John Hamilton for most points in Boston franchise. Both of them are chasing. They're going to probably 1 and 2 when the careers are over. They're probably going to have multiple titles by then too. They already got there first. Can they win a second? We don't know. But it could be the second team, North America's one to get to 20 titles. The Yankees was the first team to do it. But in baseball with 20, I think 23 or 24 baseball World Series titles. They haven't won one since 2009, 2010, since I was 16 years old. And the AL's starting to get better and better because the Orioles are leading the AL East by 1 game as we come down the stretch as far as the postseason is concerned. We're trying to fight for home field throughout the playoffs. Hopefully clinch home field throughout the playoffs in the AL pretty much. So we have all these home games in the game 7 if necessary. But anyways, like I told Mr. Francis, obviously, the Orioles are leading the Yankees by 1 game. One of my favorite teams, the Brewers, are leading by 7.5 games over the Cubs and the other teams in NL Central. But one of my favorite teams, the Angels, are struggling. No Mike Trout until next year because of back issue. He's trying to overcome all these injuries. It went from his hand, his fingers, and now his back. Anyways, the Padres are leading the wild card really comfortably. One of my other favorite teams and one of my other favorite teams in the National League in baseball. There's 2 teams I like the most. The Orioles is one of them. The Padres, the other. The Brewers, I'm not from Milwaukee, but I know about all their history as far as the team is concerned. Like the Angels and a few other teams in there that I'll name later, obviously. But I like those 6 teams right there. The Brewers, the Orioles, the Angels, a few other teams. But I'll name those other ones later in the next video, obviously. But Mr. Francis hates himself right now. Because Michael Jordan still has a variety of records to this day, all but the 11 titles in the NBA. Bill Russell still holds that record to this day. Nobody's going to come close to it unless one of the teams in the East repeats. It could be Boston, we don't know. But your team has to play in Minnesota. Good luck with that. Because they favor Minnesota over your team in this year's game of death, game in the NBA Cup. In the regular season, they favor Minnesota over your team right now. Because they're with a biased coach and always roasting media because he don't want to talk to me about certain things, and even when he talks to me, he gets loud and bashful. JJ Redick, Duke Blue Devils. But anyways, good luck for your coach. If they fired JJ Redick, and not now, but when that time comes, LeBron's out of excuses. Then that's another person, and he works. And the funny thing, he works where him and LeBron do their own podcast, and if he gets him fired, it's like they might not be on the same page other than the podcast only. I think LeBron's going to do after the rest of his career, but anyways. Why he don't have 6 titles still? Because, like I said, the longevity doesn't matter if he don't have 6 titles, Mr. Francis. Like I said, and I say it again, Jordan has a variety of records. LeBron only holds, like I said, a few records, but not all of them. I hold all the records in golf. In the top of one of them, just trying to break Sam Snead's winning record and overcatch my Uncle John when it comes to green tickets. Like I said, I hold a variety of records in golf. That's the reason why Tiger Woods called out LeBron and the teacher out going to next year, why I gear up for next year's PGA Tour season as I stay fully healthy this time around. As I made my epic comeback in golf. So I also tee up with the Hero World Challenge in November. But anyways, the last event for the years is the Hero World Challenge, and I tee off in that too as well. So I had 3 made cuts, 3 missed cuts. And one withdrawal because of sickness. But what sickness though? Because of genetics. But anyways. Like I said, Mr. Friends hates himself right now because the Rays can't make no trades. They're running out of time with coaches right now. Jay Durrett is a rookie head coach, and he probably will be human as hell. They just deal with a Minnesota team that's fighting for an NBA title, their first NBA title in franchise history. And then they got to face the Timberwolves. First game of the season. Good luck. Good luck. Because they favored Minnesota to stomp your team by 20 points in that game, in that first game of the NBA season in the NBA Cup. Anyways. Almost Franklin saying 40,000 points. I said, it don't matter about the longevity if you don't have 6 titles. He also record, but what does it matter if he doesn't have 6 titles, Mr. Francis? Again, Jordan holds a variety of records, or tied for some records at least. Only he don't hold the record for his blocks. I don't know who holds the NBA record in blocks. I'll Google that later on. I don't know it's damn sure LeBron though. He's on that list, but he's in the top 80. He's not even in the top 50 as far as total blocks. He's at 1,100 and almost 1,200 something, but he's not at where Kevin Garnett and a lot of people in the top 40 and 30 and 20 in blocks beginning in NBA history. I don't know who's number 1. You don't have to ask me one. I already know who's number 1. And I'll tell you who's number 1 in the next bit once I Google it, obviously. But like I said, Michael Jordan's the undisputed GOAT of all time. Tiger Woods, of me, if I know what to define that Astro, was the greatest athlete of all time. Overcome surgery. I know I had surgery once on my I had surgery once, but that was on my midsection. I gotta keep the word clean because I don't want to say the other words. But I had surgery on my midsection once. I was able to overcome that. Still had bruises from that surgery to this day. But anyways, I had to say word midsection because I had to keep the word clean. But anyways, better than LeBron, like I said. Anyways, Tiger Woods was better than LeBron for the one to find that astrology because he had to overcome a lot of injuries and setbacks from injuries and sickness and anything else. I was better than LeBron, and I still owe to my golfing sponsors and actual one, including TaylorMade as well. So like I said, Tiger Woods was better than LeBron because I completed the ultimate Grand Slam Tiger Slam. If I know about that with myself. I won 15 majors, still chasing 16, and hopefully chasing John's record, obviously. He's held for almost decades, but anyways. Records are made to run. This is why I made the 2K golf cover. Hopefully the EA Sports one comes out. We'll find out when the Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2024 comes out. But if I stay healthy, I'll probably be on that cover again. Tickets. Because once I break that record as far as, we'll tie the record as far as green jackets, obviously, LeBron can't tell me Mr. Francis, when it comes to golf either. No, I was hyped in that sport too because of my father's legacy, pretty much. So like I said, Mr. Francis, you obviously hate yourself. I had to respond to your post, obviously, because your post was an old article from maybe a decade ago. Yeah, they lost to Boston, but that was during his injury when he was overcoming his severe injuries. But Boston beat the brakes off your team this year too, so you can't talk about the Bulls right now in that era. So like I said, Mr. Francis, you listen to a person that's an ambivert too, just to let you know. And that's sad that you listen to a person of Shannon Sharp and Alexander. I can't stand that man to this day. But anyways, that's why he's not undisputed no more. I got him fired last year. Cause when they had the heated argument with Tiger with me versus LeBron right now, obviously it didn't end well with worse because Mr. Sharp didn't want to admit to certain things, especially when it comes to Michael Jordan's in all sports, pretty much. Because he didn't play that long in football. He played a long time, but he just didn't play until his 40s because the injury that he was dealing on his upper chest area. I don't know what the injury was, but what the injury was, it wasn't good. And they said if he had to play through it, he probably would have tore something in the upper chest area, and he probably not have been the same player no more. But anyways, make sure y'all find me on Facebook and add me on Facebook. It's my whole main name spelled backwards. Add me on TikTok, Woman Queen 4. Follow me on YouTube, Ravens Power 8. Ravens Power 8 nickname under it. Roller Hutch 6, Roller Hutch Podcast nickname under it. And Xbox versus Sony Forever, Xbox versus Sony Podcast nickname under it as well. If y'all want to come to me for all the content, for the sport wars, the console wars, and anything else, come to my YouTube channels and subscribe to me. And hopefully you can help me get to 50 subscribers as well on my other 2 YouTube accounts so I can give you other content. Because I got a lot of pictures saved, so that way when I make my next videos on that account, we can go from there after that. But the next video, we'll talk about the sport wars and talk about me, Mr. Ross, and Mr. Frank when it comes to the Michael Jordans and all sports. So I can name all the Michael Jordans in the next video after this one. So make sure you have me on PSN, Ask for Glory 2, Furry Kingdom, Show Me He, She. Might change that game tag, those 2 game tags for both of them eventually. Must Got He, She 4, Super Nintendo 64, Ask for Glory 2, Furry Kingdom, Show Me He, She. Once I change that game tag, I might change that game tag eventually. Must Got He, She 4, that's my Console Wars account on PSN. Show Me He, She, Furry Kingdom. You'll see the reinvention picture on that one. And then Ask for Glory 2 and Super Nintendo 64, my in-game retro account on PSN. Make sure I'm going to have Sony back soon enough, guys. I'm playing on Microsoft currently, but I will get Sony back soon enough. So make sure I have me on PSN, obviously. The Sony return will come, probably, hopefully, if not by next month, hopefully by November, obviously. But if it's not by next month, it's okay. Sony return is coming soon enough. Hopefully by next month, that would be nice. But the next video, we'll talk about me and all the Michael Jordans and Bill Russells, including in martial arts as well. The next video, make sure you follow me on Twitch, Lemon Hut, Furry Kingdom, Retro Hutch, Xbox Sony 1, and Yugi Hutch on 5 of my Twitch accounts. Follow me on all 3 of my YouTube accounts, Ravens Power 8, Ravens Power 8 nickname under it. Royal Hutch 6, Royal Hutch Podcast nickname under it. And also, follow me on Xbox versus Sony Forever, Xbox versus Sony Podcast nickname under it as well. Xbox versus Sony Forever, that's my YouTube name, but nickname is Xbox versus Sony Podcast. So I mean, that's all I can say for right now. But in the next video, you'll see me all the Michael Jordans and Bill Russells, as far as the greatest athletes of all time. In the next video, yeah.